topic which we are going to discuss here is classes and objects in Java. By the end of this course, you should be able to answer following questions. What is a class? What is an object? Advantages of abstraction, components of class, that is fields and methods. Here is a small example. Please go through the cartoon first. So Aryan is at home for a weekend. He decides to write a small program for his dad. His dad is a shopkeeper. Using this program, he wants to manage the salary of all the employees who work in his dad's shop. This is what he has in mind. This is the program which Aryan has written. It is a simple main method inside which, based on the input, he prints out the salary of the particular employee. So, if the input is Ajit, then the output will be Ajit's salary is rupees 2500. Similarly, for every employee, he prints out the salary. So he is ready with his program, and now he wants to present it to his dad. Let's see what's his reaction. Please go through this cartoon. Aryan's dad is very happy with the program, but instead of raising the pocket money, he changes the requirement itself. He needs more information for each employee. For example, employee's age and designation. Not only this, he needs Aryan to modify the program to add information about customers as well. Let's see how Aryan is going to change his program to accommodate all these changes. Here is the new program which is written by Aryan. Here again it has the main method which takes the input, and based on that it prints the information about the employee or the customer. But as you can see, this program has become so big because of so many if and else conditions that it is not even fitting in here. Aryan realizes that there is something wrong with this program. Let's see what it is. What if in future his father decides to change the requirement once again? Or what if there are new employees or customers whose information needs to be added to the program? Don't you think it's too difficult to change this big complicated program? Not only this, now Aryan has tested everything, but any small change in future will require retesting the whole program once again. And what about the reusage? If Aryan wants to use this program or some parts of it in some other project, is it even possible? And if Aryan is not around, can someone else read, understand, change and test this complicated program? What do you think? Actually, it's a bad piece of code. Aryan realizes that there are a number of problems with his current code. So he decides to take help from his good friend Raj. Let's see what Raj has to say about it. Please go through the cartoon. Raj has actually provided a very important hint over here. That is the use of classes. Here is a small quiz for you. Can you help Aryan solve the problem by identifying the classes and methods that he requires? Take your time and think about it. Now comes the big question. What are classes? A class can be defined as a category or a blueprint. Look at the rubber stamp over here. Using rubber stamp, you can get prints of different colors. Consider these prints as objects. Then rubber stamp is a class. So a class is used to construct different objects. A class defines the behavior and characteristics of the objects. Let's go back to Aryan's example. Can you identify the categories present in that example? There were two categories which were clearly present, employee and customer. So the classes in Aryan's case were employee and customer. Now that we have identified the classes, let's go further. Classes have characteristics. Think about the employee class. What are the characteristics of an employee? An employee can have a name, designation, age and salary. Similarly, what are the characteristics of a customer? A customer can have a name, email ID and phone number. All these characteristics become class variables or fields. Thus, the second step after identifying the classes is to identify the characteristics of the classes. Now comes the third and the final step, that is to identify the actions or behavior of a particular class. Employee and customer class will have following actions or behaviors. What do you expect out of employee class? An employee class should be able to print employee information. Similarly, a customer class should be able to print customer information. So these are the behaviors of employee and customer class. Behavior of a class defines the methods which will be present in the class. Now let's go further and see how an actual employee and customer class will look like. Here are the final employee and customer classes. Look at the employee class. What are the fields? Fields are nothing but the characteristics which we identified. Name, designation, age, salary. Look at the methods. Print employee information. This was the behavior which we identified. Same applies to the customer class. Now classes are ready. As we have separated customer from employee, let's go back to the problems which we identified in the previous program and see whether we have resolved some of them. What if father changes the requirement again, or what if new employees and customers have to be added? These changes earlier were causing a lot of issues. Let's look at them. Problem 1. It's too difficult to change the code. Not anymore. Now that our code is clean and clearly structured, it is very easy to change it. Problem number 2. Everything has to be retested. Again, this problem has been resolved. As we have separated our code in different classes, any change to one class won't impact the other one. So we actually don't have to retest the complete thing again. Problem number 3. He cannot reuse it. This problem is also resolved. As we have created separate classes, Aryan can go ahead and use these classes in some other projects very easily. Problem number 4. He cannot hand it over to someone else when he is not around.